Good day, podcast community. Pete Kane, podcast Pete here, and high performance coach. And we have a special guest. We actually put this together quickly because we want you to act quickly and know what's going on in the veterans community. So, Kim, tell our viewers who you are, what you do, and who you serve, and then we'll get into our podcast.
Sure, Pete. Thank you for having me. My name is Kim Scofi. I'm the president of United Military Care and the founder of the We Care Vet Fairs. We take care of veterans and military families throughout the state of Georgia.
That is awesome. You know, we love our veterans, and there's so much information out there. It's hard sometimes for people to get the most relevant information when they need it. So, why do you do an expo like this, and what could a veteran get out of coming to this expo?
Well, that's one of the main reasons that we host this show is because there is so much information out there. And there's a technology barrier. Not everyone understands how to upload and download documents and email and so forth. And that's where things are going. We're turning into a technology-based country. So the We Care Vet Fair was established to bring all of the resources, local, state, and federal, in one place to help a veteran sit down one-on-one with somebody and navigate benefits or any challenges that they have.
You know, it's so beneficial to talk to a person. You know, our technology has changed so rapidly. I had a situation where I can't talk to a person. It's all through voicemail and bots. And if you don't get the right answer, it hangs you up. Mm-hmm. And so it gets frustrating for anybody, much less people that are trying to get answers right away. So kind of explain, like, what type of vendors would you have at this expo so our viewers that see this can see if this is something that can really benefit them now?
Sure. Well, one of our partners is the Georgia Department of Veteran Services, which is a state-run government agency that can help you or can apply for benefits, claims, appeals, and things like that through the Veterans Administration. They can also help enroll you in VA healthcare. What they do not do is they do not have doctors and nurses unemployed that they can make an appointment with. But just about everything else they can do, including state cemeteries and nursing homes and things like that. So they will be there in force to help with anything regarding the VA. We also have mental health professionals that will be there if you'd like to try and find somebody to talk to or a family member that can talk to somebody. We have food and nutrition specialists that are there. Eating healthy is important part of your life. We have physical professionals that will be there to talk about things that you can do at different age levels and ability levels to maintain your physical stamina and your physical and mental strength. We have employers that will be on site and so much more. So we have almost 100 organizations, local, state, and federal, that will be there to help you navigate whatever your challenge is, or if you're just looking for information.
Yeah, that's beautiful to bring them all together. So I love your heart to serve. Why did you get involved in this organization? What was the reason for you?
Well, I actually started the organization. I'm the founder in 2012. I'm from a military family, and I've been in the nonprofit world for over 20 years, and entirely with the military. The first part of my career, I served active duty and got those 2 a.m. phone calls when somebody was hurt in Iraq or Afghanistan, and decided that my veterans were really falling through the cracks and they were not getting the attention that they deserved and the help that they needed. So started United Military Care in 2012 to do just that. And that is provide the resources and the education and the vehicle by which they can get solutions.
So that's awesome. So 2012, that's a long time. I mean, that's 13 years. So how have you seen the organization grow, and what challenges do you still see that you're trying to solve with addressing and helping our veterans?
Well, we noticed, one of the things that there are two words that I use when describing the nonprofit area, and that's ego and silo. Most people start a nonprofit because of a personal passion. And there is some ego in there thinking that they have the answer to whatever the problem or calamity is.
Hmm.
And then silo, they tend to work in an upward structure, and they don't look side to side to find other partners in the community to provide what I would consider a holistic solution or solutions for veterans. And that's what we want to do. I think charity is broken in this country. We put a lot of band-aids out there. And I say to people all the time, a cheese sandwich does not solve hunger. A
Hmm.
cheese sandwich might stop a rumbling belly for an hour, but it does not solve hunger. If we really want to solve hunger and homelessness and unemployment and mental health challenges, we have to look at the entire system. We have to look at the root of the problem, what caused the problem, and how we can work together with other professionals to surround that person and support them to lead a better life.
Hmm. What That's awesome. What do you do like when you're trying to attract vendors that have solutions for our veterans? How are you reaching out to them? Like what has been successful for you and what has been challenging to get that message out?
Well, the challenging first, most people think that there's going to be a cost associated with it, or we're going to have them jump through hoops or something like that. Then that's not the case at all. We don't do this as a fundraiser. We do not charge our vendors. We do not charge our veterans. We also don't allow donations on the floor, requesting donations or soliciting donations or anything like that. This is a time for our veterans to get help, not be asked to do something for somebody else. So that's the difficult part, is getting people to understand that there are no barriers to this other than your own schedule. Um, the positive is once people have worked with us, we've been doing this since 2022. We have waiting lists over 100 for each of the shows that we do. We've done 5. This will be our 5th show this year. And we have waiting lists of well over 100 companies that last months. We were full for the event we're about to do 4 months ago.
Hmm.
We were full at capacity. So we try to structure each of the meetings and the fairs and our interactions with these other companies and our partners with education. I'm a big believer that knowledge is power. And so we try to bring education to each of our meetings and with each of our partners, learn from each other, best practices, ethical considerations, so forth, so that we really can create change not only with an individual and within an organization, but also within a community with the ripple effect. And if you do good with one, that's great. But when you partner with others and plan to do good together and work together, the ripple gets larger. And before you know it, you're making a difference, not in a stream or a pond, you're making a difference in an ocean. And so that's our goal.
I love that. I live off of Wade Green Road, and I have a friend that walks the neighborhood, and she is a color consultant, and so we would talk when she would take a break, and she works with like Sherwin Williams to help the colors people select their colors. So I'm driving like last week, and I see all these tents out in front of the Sherwin Williams place, and so I did a U-turn, came back, went in there, and said, "What's going on?" And they were doing an event with their partners to educate
Mm-hmm.
people because you can't do it alone. Just to your point, there's no silos in anything. It's collaboration. So let's go back getting started because our viewers always like to know how did you get started? Like the first expo that you did. Bring us back to that one. What was that like, and what did you like at the end of the expo that you could share with our viewers?
Sure. Well, the first one was, as my grandfather would say, a lot of spit and prayer. It was a lot of hard work, but we estimated we'd have maybe 500 veterans show up for our first fair. We had over 3,800 come in one day. So folks were really hungry, not only to see what the new kid on the block was doing, but also for education. They want the answers. They want the solutions. Our veterans are not victims. They are fully capable folks who are just looking for answers. And again, I believe knowledge is power. The more you know, the more you're better able to navigate life. And we brought all that together for them, again, thinking only 500 people. And we had people coming up to us at the show saying, when are you going to do it again? When are you going to do it again?
Wow.
So we have gone back to some locations multiple times. This will be our fourth one in Cobb County.
Mhm.
Because things change, life changes, situations change, financial situations come up for people. And the answers that you got 4 years ago may still be relevant, but you may have other needs now, or you may need a greater explanation now on how to get help. So we have broadened them. We take great responsibility in talking with our veterans and finding if we met their needs, if they were satisfied, if there are suggestions that they have. And we do the same thing with our partners as well. We try to learn from each other to make it the best experience possible for everybody.
Wow, that's beautiful. What I glanced at, I heard through word of mouth last year. So it was like I heard at 5 o'clock the day before. So I
Mm-hmm.
came with just not even knowing what to expect. I'd never been to one. And I was blown away by the number of people there to help,
Mm-hmm.
support, to answer questions, and the number of veterans that were there looking for help
Mm-hmm.
and getting it. Obviously, the word of mouth has been spreading because a lot of people now are look forward to it. So tell me about, because I didn't know that you have like maybe a half a dozen or eight sponsors. And Cisco's one of them. I used to work for them 15, 20 years ago. So what does it take for a person that has, wants to pour back into our veterans? What is a sponsorship of that magnitude? What does that mean?
So the sponsorship, we are so grateful for our sponsors, and we work with them for both in-kind sponsorships and cash to bring out the show. So it's everything from a media sponsor to a facilities sponsor. We have to have things like security and all of those things. So we work with the individual corporation or company to find out what their philanthropic goals are. Many want to help veterans but aren't sure how and the best way to go about doing that. And we can give them the opportunity that one event, they can help thousands of veterans by simply supporting the event.
Mhm.
We also offer them the ability to be there. This year, Cisco will be there on the floor as an employer recruiting veterans.
Hmm.
So we offer them that upfront, in your face recognition, uh, being a sponsor, doing something good, and getting good positive numbers from it.
That is beautiful. I went to a couple educational seminars last year because I love seminars. And there was like cybersecurity. There was some really cool topics. Tell us about your educational sessions or seminars that you're doing along with, the expo.
So the expo this year will be in Cobb County. We'll be having the partners and the vendors there. We've maximized our space, so we won't have any additional seminars for people to attend. But we work with folks all the time that will have outside of the event, different days, different symposiums that you can attend and learn about specific issues.
Hmm. What do you think, with your responsibility of running the organization, do you look for volunteers to help support you? And what does that look like if you do?
Always, I think volunteers make the world go round. Truly. And so we have a great team of volunteers that work with us, some full time, and then some who can give an hour a month or an hour and a quarter. But I truly believe that everybody has something to give.
Mhm.
And you just have to take the time to understand what they're giving and what their abilities are and work with them to bring out the very best for both parties.
Ooh, that's good. What keeps you up at night? Like what like I know we're always solving problems, but what keeps Kim up at night that just like, oh man, if I could handle this, I'd sleep better.
Um, Actually, complacency. And what I see so many Americans doing every day, the level of complacency about our veterans is very troubling to me.
Mhm.
We have the option every day to practice the faith. without fear of reprisal. We can vote. We can speak our mind without causing harm. We can protest. We are protected from police entering our home for unnecessary, reasons. We have all of these rights, and I wonder if people stop and think, who have made those rights secure all these years? One of President Reagan's famous statements are, "We are never more than one generation away from losing our freedom." And I greatly believe that. That's what keeps me up at night is, do our children and our grandchildren that are coming along now, do they understand? Do they understand how poorly we treated our Vietnam veterans and how mixed up our systems were? Do they understand the challenges that the men and women who fought in the Gulf War in Iraq and Afghanistan are facing now? Look around, there are veterans everywhere. It's not just the old guy that wears the ball cap in the grocery store that you see. Veterans are your accountants, your attorneys, they work at the market, they deliver the mail, they're all over the place. They need not be treated any differently than any other human, which I believe is respect. But don't forget what they did. At the end of the day, they were willing to die for complete strangers. And most of us spend a great deal of time guarding our wallets. Wallets can be replaced. Money can be replaced. Lives can't. And they were willing to give up theirs for a total stranger.
That's so good. So growing up in a military family, so if you had to talk to somebody that is young and they're entering the military, what advice would you give them now that you're on the other side of that? How would you talk to a younger Kim that's, part of the military family? You move around a lot, you give up a lot. There's a lot of different things that the average person doesn't see until they go through it. What would you say to a younger Kim just starting out?
I would say embrace every day, make great relationships, embrace the friends that you'll meet and you'll leave. The official flower of the military brat or a child who was raised is the dandelion for a very specific reason. When you a little kid and you went out in the yard and you picked one and you blew on it, the seeds went everywhere. Well, that's what a military child goes through. They leave little things of them everywhere they go. So I would say embrace it. For those who are joining the military that are young, I would say wait to start a family. Because it can be very challenging when you're first entering the military to have a family and to have children. So I would say wait to start a family for a little while until you're a little more established. But I would say the same thing for somebody just coming out of college as well. Try to prepare yourself a little bit. I know no time is going to be the best time or the right time.
Yeah.
But think a little more strategically about things. But overall, enjoy every part of it. The duty stations that your mom or your dad's going to be at, learn about it. Invest yourself in that community. Learn about those people. There are some amazing people and countries in this world. There are people in your own backyard that have stories and exciting experiences that you could learn from greatly. It's not in a book. It's in a human next door. So get out and talk to people and learn and meet people.
I love that. We're entering into AI and the world's going to flip upside down real quick. And, younger people don't have that adaptability that us, that are a little bit older and more, that we have those lessons. I only talked to you yesterday and now today. I can tell without a shadow of a doubt, you can adapt to anything. So that skill is so critical for the changes that are coming. How can you encourage people that are going through rapid change that haven't been able to adapt? How did you handle it in your earlier years that created a person that's I have a lot of podcasts. Not many people do what you did. I mean, you're concise with your answers. I just see that you are very decisive. But I'd love for you to just share with our viewers, how did that come about, and what did you learn along the way that the viewers could take home?
Well, great parents, and they instilled in me very young something called the Kodak principle. And I've renamed it to the Hallmark principle because not many people younger than me understand what Kodak is or was. But we often, unfortunately, have a vision of the way we think something should be prior to entering it, whether that's meeting a new person, a new job, or a change. And when we're going through that change or challenge and it does not meet that image, suddenly there's a catastrophe because we believe we're wrong. So I say you can have the Kodak image of what your best result you would like to achieve. But then you also need to have a current model where you journey on what you're experiencing. So for example, for a long time, they say little girls always dream about what their wedding is going to be like and getting married and this and that and the other. Well, if a little girl dreams of that fairy tale wedding with the big white dress and all of her family and friends and everything there, that's great. But it may happen that when you are preparing to get married, there is no budget to have that big white dress. That does not mean that the day is any less special, that the marriage is any less legal or important, or a major change, a positive change in your life. You have to understand that that image that you have, that's all it is. It's an image. And don't focus on the image. Focus on today. You can plan for tomorrow through focusing on today and get rid of the Kodak and the Hallmark. The Hallmark movies, the reason they're so successful. And who doesn't like a Hallmark card? Who doesn't like a Hallmark movie? Yes. Because they touch every emotional button and everybody wins in the situation. Yep. Well, we would all love those wins. We would all love it that everything comes together and everything like that. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So don't compare your life or the journey you're on with that Kodak moment or that Hallmark moment.
Yeah, so
that would be my advice.
I love it. I want you now, because what we want to do is encourage the vendors to be able to be more vocal towards their solutions. And so we want them at the event to give us a few minutes to be able to amplify their voice out. So I'm going to put a information up on the screen. So I want you to talk to your collaborative vendors who are partnering with you to encourage them to let their voice be amplified. We want to make sure that it's that whatever you have is not a best kept secret. That's not a strategy. It's amplify it out, let it shine out so others can shine from what you're doing to help support our veterans.
So I would say to all of our partners and potential partners, we operate like a team. And every team is more than one person. Football team, quarterbacks, you've got the offensive line, the defensive line, cornerbacks, linebackers, wide receivers, and they all have a purpose. And they all shine for a specific reason. Maybe somebody runs fast, somebody catches a ball good, somebody's big and tough and can move players around the field. All of them are necessary to win a game. The game that we're in right now is helping our veterans. And you're a critical part of that team. We need your skill set, whether you catch the ball, throw the ball, move people around, or you're really fast, or you can kick the ball far. You are an integral part of the team that it's going to take to win the game in helping our veterans. So highlight your skill, be proud of it, what your organization does, and be part of the team.
Ooh, I couldn't have said it any better. I love it. It's so important that we get that word out, because Jerry Boaz called me and said, "Hey, Pete," and he told me about, I was already putting it on my calendar from last year, but he had talked to Andy, and and so we were talking about what do you think about doing so amplifying the voice out so more people can be served. I said, I love it. I love it. So it's people like that spread your word, that talk about you. And it's always good to have that conversation. So on the screen, if you go to petekane.me/vets, and Kim will have the link, just schedule it, because we'll be available to amplify your solution, your care, what you want to do to help support our veterans. You'll have a platform to do that. Now, also tell them, Kim, Where can they get more information to be able to see the times, anything that they need to know more about what's going on?
Sure. So the fourth annual We Care Vet Fair will be at the Cobb County Civic Center,
Hmm?
which is in Marietta, 548 South Marietta Parkway, on Tuesday, October the 21st. So next Tuesday, open from 8:30 a.m. until 6 p.m. You can go to wecarevetfair.com and get specific information about the types of vendors that will be there. We will have legal advisors and attorneys on site that can help you with free legal care. There is one legal agency that is requiring appointments, so you can make those appointments online. We're also partnering with Sweetwater Mission to give away groceries. So there'll be a grocery line to give away groceries as well. And they have donated over 300,000 pounds of food since we've been doing this to give away to our veterans. So go to wecarevetfair.com. You can always call us at 770-973-0014 to get any further details. We hope to see you there.
That is so good. We'll make sure we'll put those links in the show notes. So, because I actually put the wrong information up there to get the We Care. So we'll put what Kim just described to you in the show notes. Just go in the below and you'll be able to get that information. So, Kim, as we wrap up, what would be the one thing that you would want our viewers to take home from our time on this podcast?
I choose my words carefully, but the one wish that I would have is that everyone listening do good. Find a way to do good, whether it's to another person in the grocery store line, lending $1, offering a tissue, opening the door, through working with a nonprofit, finding a cause that resonates with your heart. Do good. Find something and do good. We need more good in this world.
We certainly do. And Kim, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to
Thank
share
you.
with us. And we look forward to, seeing you in person and being able to help serve our veterans in a better way, more effective way, and help the communication so everybody gets their needs, taken care of that need it out there. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. We appreciate your help. Thank you very much.